Alright, so welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are going to be actually fully taking this tank apart. We're going to be removing the substrate, and we're going to be removing the plants and trying to save as many of the shrimp that we have left in here. There's not that many left in here, so it shouldn't be too hard for us to do. There's probably only about 20, if that, left in here, and they're all very tiny. So let's get right into it. Okay, so for all of the plants, we're just gonna toss them inside of this jug right here. Okay, other plants are out. So now let's try to get as much of the shrimp out of here as possible. Okay, so I went and grabbed water from the 40-gallon tank, as I know there isn't any of the snails in there, so I shouldn't have to worry about dirty water contaminating the rest of the tank if I go use these shrimp somewhere else, or if I go sell them. So let's get started with removing these. Okay, so that was as many of them as I could get. I didn't really see any more in there. So let's, without further ado, get this tank drained. This is the first time I've actually fully drained this tank since I got it. I want to say March of last year. So it's kind of sad draining it. The last fish I had in here was the betta fish that really, in a sense, kicked this hobby back off for me. So it's kind of sad watching it get taken down, but all right. So now that we got it all cleaned out, I have a mixture of water and vinegar, about 1 to 2 parts, and I have a Seacom scoring pad that I'm just gonna try to get as many of the extra algae off of this as I can. Some of these look like they're kind of like hard on, but with the Seacom pad and some water and vinegar, this shouldn't be too hard to actually get rid of. So I'm just gonna kind of do a little time lapse of how long it takes me to actually do this. All right, so now we're gonna hit it with the second go around. I'm you just want to kind of make sure that we're getting everything off the sides. Nothing in the saltwater tank, I don't think, as far as like algae wise or bacteria, will actually live inside of a saltwater tank, since this is going to be the Frag tank. But you know, you can't be too cautious with this, so it's just best to actually get in here and clean as much as you can, because if there is going to be bacteria in here, you don't want it to bloom too heavily in your tank. So again, you just want to get as much of this stuff out of here as we can. As far as it looks right now, we're just gonna kind of empty this out again. I just wanted to make sure that I sprayed the sides down, see if there's anything, just by looking at the glass, if there is anything else I need to get off of here. I'm not seeing anything, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and rinse this out with some more water and call it good there. And then we will bring it back into the fish room and we will go ahead and start filling it up with some salt water. Okay, so we're back in the fish room. We now have everything that we need to get the tank going. I've got some reef salt here, and I'm gonna add this in before I do the water. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna add, I think it's a half cup for every, where is it? Half cup for every gallon. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a half cup for every gallon. I'm just gonna start out with 5. And then as soon as all of it gets incorporated in, what I'm gonna go ahead and do then is add in more water or more salt depending on what the salinity level is in the tank. So let's get added with a half cup. Okay, so I definitely thought I had enough water for this, so I'm going to have to go now to the fish store and buy more RO water, which I did not want to do today. So let's go do that. Okay, so now we got the water all added in, and we got the filter flowing. We can see a good amount of flow in a circular motion, which is good for this type of tank. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna agitate the salt down here at the bottom so it actually does get incorporated. And then in about 30 minutes or so, I will check the salinity level on this and see if it is in a good area or not. If we're sitting around 28 or so, I'll throw in about up to 32 ppm, I think it is, or ppt of salt back into here, so that way we can actually get started with the process of a frag tank. Okay, so now while that goes, what I will do is I will add in the Smart Start Complete. I will add in, let's see, 1 ounce per 10 gallons, and I think I've actually got, I do. So we can actually use this and get an accurate measurement of how much we need. No, we cannot, actually. This is way too big for that. So let's see. I'm gonna assume that this cap is 1 ounce. So there we go, we've got this added in. And now we just wait, and then we'll come back and we'll check the salinity level in a minute. Okay, so now we are back in the fish room. We are going to take our salinity checker and we are going to see what the levels are looking like inside the tank. Still pretty low, we're at about 14, so about halfway there. So it looks like we will have to add in the rest of our salt into the water. So we're at about where we wanted to be when I poured in everything, but now I will have to chisel away at the salt and actually put more in now. So let's do that. Let's fast forward. Alright, so we're about 30 minutes back, and most of the salt looks like it's dissolved. We still got a little bit sitting on the bottom, but we're going to go ahead and check it again. Sitting around 32, floating between 32 right now. I am seeing the temperature of the tank going up a little bit too, so that should help as well with the dissolving of all the salt crystals in here. I'm just gonna let the tank kind of do its thing for a little bit, and then I'm going to take some of the rocks from actually in the other tank and move them into here, so that way we can get a little bit of the cycle started. And then as soon as I get a reef rack, I will get that added into this as well. But that'll be it for today's video, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching and stopping by and seeing what we're doing in the tank. But if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy fish keeping.